Skill number 5. What to do when you can't focus at all. Subtitle: How to trick your brain into working without coffee, shame, or selling your soul. You don't have a focus problem. You have a brain that's sick of your sh**t. Let's be real. You sit down to work. You open your laptop. You stare at the screen like it just insulted your mom. And suddenly you're 3 videos deep into penguins fighting over rocks and wondering, why am I like this? Well, here's the tea. Your focus isn't broken. It's just been used, abused, and overstimulated like a toddler in a candy store with no exits. Because modern life is a war zone for attention. Too many tabs, too little sleep, too much doom scrolling, and a brain that now thinks concentration equals torture. So in this episode of Make Your Brain Work Without Crying, we're breaking down 10 chaotic, science-backed, slightly unhinged ways to reboot your attention span. No self-loathing required. Let's start with the first 2. Tip 1. Focus doesn't start in your brain. It starts in your body. You think you can just sit and grind? Cool. Your body says, actually no. I'm dehydrated, my spine is screaming, and we've had 1 banana today. Here's what no one tells you. If your body feels unsafe, unfed, or uncomfortable, your brain will refuse to focus. Period. Why? Because from a survival standpoint, hunting productivity while your system's running on fumes is suicidal. So if you can't focus, check your biological basics. Have you eaten actual food today? Not sadness crackers. Is your room colder than a breakup text or hotter than guilt? Have you moved in the last 3 hours, or are you fusing with your chair? Are you breathing like a human or a panicked hamster? Fix that first. Because focus is not a mindset, it's a metabolic privilege. And if your body's dying, your brain's not writing your thesis. It's writing your eulogy. Tip 2. Your environment is a trap. Set it up like you're planning a heist. You ever wonder why you can focus so hard on a dumb game or binge 7 hours of TV, but can't write a 2-paragraph email? It's not willpower. It's architecture. Your brain responds to signals in the room like a dog at a buffet. If your environment screams chaos, guess what your brain does? It becomes chaos. So treat your work setup like you're planning a bank robbery. Every tool in reach. No distractions. Escape plan if things get messy. Here's how to prep. Put your phone in another room. Like, physically exile it. Shut down and use tabs. If you have 43 open, you're not working, you're in digital purgatory. Q1 sensory signal. Same hoodie, same playlist, same ugly candle. Clean your desk. Yes, even that one gum wrapper from 2018. You're not trying to feel inspired. You're trying to trigger your brain's work mode like Pavlov's dog, but make it ADHD friendly. Because the lazier your environment, the harder your brain has to work just to start. Fix the room. Watch your focus reappear like it owes you money. Tip 3. Don't force focus. Trick your brain into thinking it was its idea. Here's the focus paradox. The harder you try to concentrate, the more your brain rebels like a teenager with a Spotify playlist and a vape. Why? Because pressure triggers resistance. And your brain is a professional at self-sabotage with perfect logic. Why should we work when we could clean the fridge? Let's reorganize our files again. Now's the time to worry about death, obviously. So instead of wrestling your attention like a rodeo clown, do this. Make starting feel insulting easy. Tell yourself you'll do 1 minute. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Open the file. Just open it. Write 1 sentence. Even if it's, I don't want to do this. What happens? Your brain, curious little raccoon that it is, gets sucked in. Because now it's not work. It's momentum. Focus doesn't come before you start. Focus is the reward for starting. So trick your brain. Then sit back and say, see, I told you we could do this. Like a toxic but supportive coach. Tip 4. Make it urgent, make it dumb, make it fun, or your brain won't show up. Here's an evolutionary insult. Your brain doesn't care about long-term goals. It cares about danger, novelty, snacks, approval, and whether your ex is watching your Instagram stories. So when you sit down to work on a project due next month, your brain's like, cool. Let's reorganize our playlists instead. To get around this, you need to hack urgency and play. Urgency equals set a fake deadline and tie it to pain. I can't eat until this is done. Timer's on. If I stop, I owe my roommate $5. If I don't focus, I'll force myself to do burpees. Play equals turn it into a game. Track points. Do a ridiculous countdown voice. Pretend you're a secret agent finishing a dossier under pressure. Dumb equals make it so silly, your brain gets curious. Use a rubber chicken as your work mascot. Narrate your task like a National Geographic host. Race yourself to beat your worst time. The brain loves drama, so give it some. Make it fun or make it hurt. But don't make it boring. Because boredom is the death of focus. Tip 5. Use dopamine like a dealer, small hits, Right time, no overdose. Dopamine isn't evil. It's just mismanaged. Right now, your brain gets dopamine for notifications, snacks, daydreams. The moment you decide to work, but never actually do it. If you want to focus, you have to re-deal dopamine to the right players. Here's how. Pre-task dopamine cutoff. Turn off every fake reward system before you start. No checking messages. No tiny reward scrolls. No starting with easy wins. Your brain should be hungry. Micro rewards after focus sprints. Every 25 minutes of actual work equals 1 good song, 3 push-ups, 1 cookie, yelling, "I am a productive goblin" into the void. Keep score. Track tasks with a dumb sticker chart. Yes, like a 5-year-old. Turns out they were onto something. The point? Dopamine drives attention. So give it a GPS and stop letting it crash into TikTok at 2 a.m. Tip 6. Build a pre-work ritual so your brain knows, oh crap, it's go time. You ever notice how athletes do weird little routines before they perform? Stretch, spit, whisper threats to themselves. That's not superstition. That's neuroscience in a tank top. Your brain loves routines. It treats them like a launch sequence. So if you build a pre-focus ritual, your brain learns. Oh dang, it's time to shut up and lock in. Here's what yours could look like. Drink 1 weirdly dramatic sip of water. Light a candle like you're about to summon your GPA back. Open only the tools you need and nothing else. Put on a single playlist that screams, focus. No lyrics, just vibes. Whisper, let's get feral, and slap your desk like a motivational raccoon. The point isn't what you do. It's that you do it the same way every time. Eventually, your brain will associate that ritual with tunnel vision. So build your ritual. Make it dumb. Make it sacred. And make it the alarm bell your brain can't ignore. Tip 7. Reset your nervous system, or you're basically a laptop overheating on a bed. Here's a harsh reality. Most people can't focus not because they're lazy, but because their nervous system is fried like Waffle House at 3 a.m. You can't focus when your body thinks it's in a fight. And 90% of modern life feels like a fight. So before you try to study, try this. Brain box breathing. Yes, like a Navy SEAL. For seconds in. For seconds hold. For seconds out. For seconds hold. Repeat until your brain stops screaming. Brain cold face splash. Sounds dumb. Works great. It triggers your vagus nerve and tells your body, chill. We're not being chased. Brain the lazy lizard technique. Made up name. Lie on the floor. No phone. No music. Just floor. Do absolutely nothing for 2 minutes. Let your brain reboot. Why? Because focus is a high-performance state. And you can't get there if your nervous system is running Windows 95 with 37 pop-ups open. Reset first. Work second. Tip 8. Stare at one thing for 60 seconds to hijack your default mode network. Okay, this sounds like witchcraft, but it's real neuroscience. There's a part of your brain called the default mode network, DMN. It's responsible for overthinking, daydreaming, replaying that one embarrassing thing you said in 2011. When the DMN is active, your focus is garbage. But there's a hack. Eye anchoring. Nazar amulet, pick one thing in the room. Nazar amulet, stare at it. No blinking, no moving, no thoughts. Nazar amulet, do it for 60 seconds. This simple act shuts down the DMN, and your brain goes, wait, are we serious now? Damn, okay, let's focus. It's like slapping your own attention span awake, gently, with love. So yeah, staring at your pencil might be the new meditation. Tip 9. Use productive guilt, the good kind that bullies you lovingly. Look, I'm not a fan of guilt, but you know what? Sometimes it works. If you use it like a cattle prod instead of a shame spiral. Here's the trick. Guilt that says you suck? Useless. Guilt that says, you promised future you we'd finish this? Powerful. This is called temporal self-binding, aka treating future you like someone you don't want to disappoint. Because guess what? You are not lazy. You are not broken. You're just extremely good at betraying future you for present comfort. So use that. Before you work, say this. If I don't do this now, future me has to stay up late and hate themselves. And honestly, I like that guy. Let's help him out. That's not guilt. That's loyalty with spice. So be loyal, not just to deadlines, but to the version of you who deserves peace later. Tip 9. Use productive guilt, the good kind that bullies you lovingly. Look, I'm not a fan of guilt, but you know what? Sometimes it works. If you use it like a cattle prod instead of a shame spiral. Here's the trick. Guilt that says you suck? Useless. Guilt that says, you promised future you we'd finish this? Powerful. This is called temporal self-binding, aka treating future you like someone you don't want to disappoint. Because guess what? You are not lazy. You are not broken. You're just extremely good at betraying future you for present comfort. So use that. Before you work, say this. If I don't do this now, Future me has to stay up late and hate themselves. And honestly, I like that guy. Let's help him out. That's not guilt. That's loyalty with spice. So be loyal, not just to deadlines, but to the version of you who deserves peace later. The big finale. You're not bad at focusing. You're bad at treating your brain like a person. Let's cut the noise. You don't need more willpower, more motivation, a $200 planner, and 17 Pomodoro timers. You need to treat your brain like a moody, brilliant roommate. Feed it, trick it, reward it, comment, and occasionally tell it, hey, we're doing this now, because your brain can focus. It's just tired of being yelled at like it's a factory machine. So stop screaming, start scheming, and when all else fails, give it a snack, a timer, and a single task, and watch the magic happen. Subscribe if your attention span is chaotic, charming, and only works under lovingly weaponized deadlines. Up next, Skill 6, Confidence. How to stop overthinking, doubting yourself, and feeling like a cringe factory. You don't want to miss it.